Good morning and welcome back to day 2 in Riga. This morning we're going to take you around the old town, around this beautiful city, so you can see some more of the sights. We've arrived into Riga a week before their Independence Day, so there's a lot more of a buzz going about the city. We've noticed a lot more Latvian flags up around, so it's a shame that we miss out on the actual day of independence.
As Ashley said, we're going to go around and explore the old town. This is the main kind of touristy area here in the city. Riga is actually the biggest city in the Baltics, so there's lots to explore. So we'll show you all the major sites and come along with us. But first stop behind us is actually the Freedom Monument, and basically this is a war memorial dedicated to the Latvians who lost their lives in the 2 world wars. And basically 2 guards stand outside the monument every hour. They change over between 9 and 6. So it's quite cool to watch them change over.
After this, we're going to visit somewhere that's got quite a big talking point about it in the Baltics. We'll show you that shortly.
Let's go explore Riga. We've arrived at one of the most popular points in Riga. So behind me is the House of Blackheads. It was originally built in 1334 and it was bombed during World War II, and then it was rebuilt in 1999. And what I find interesting is they literally have put probably the nicest building in Riga next to the Museum of Occupation, which is kind of everything opposite to the Museum of Blackheads, with its gold and its bright colours. This is dull and kind of brutalist architecture. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see them both side by side. But yeah, what one's your favourite? Is it the brutalist architecture or the House of Blackheads?
So this is the biggest talking point in the Baltics, certainly between Latvia and Estonia. This is believed to be where the first Christmas tree was put on public display in 1510. Very long time ago now. Think of all the Christmas trees that have been decorated around the world since then. So this tree is apparently the original, but Tallinn, Estonia believes it was them. Who do you think it was?
So this monument behind me is to honour those who lost their lives in World War II, obviously from Latvia. The statue does cause quite a lot of controversy. Some say it reminds them of the old Soviet times and the old Soviet regime. So some would actually have the statue or the monument removed. But when you look at it, it's quite impressive. But obviously I understand why some people wouldn't like it. But yeah, that's the story of the 3 riflemen statue. So we are at Martin's Bakery, which is meant to be the oldest bakery in Riga, anyway.
Look what we've got.
All this, so as a hot chocolate, 4 pastries, came to €5.40.
Yeah, €5.40.
So not only is it one of the oldest, it's one of the cheapest as well. So we're going to tuck in and try. So this building behind me, I'm not sure if you can see the details, but there's 2 cat statues at the top of the building. And back in the day, a rich guy owned the house, but he wasn't allowed into the guild, which was basically like an association of traders. So he wasn't allowed in, so that would impact his trade. So to get revenge on the guild, he pointed the 2 cat statues with their backs towards the guild as a kind of revenge. So it looked like they were basically doing their business on the guild hall. So really petty of him, but it did work out at the end. The guild would let him in, and that's why the cat statues have been turned around and now face the guild with their faces rather than their butts. So that's the story of the cat's house.
One thing that we found in Europe is a lot of their buildings have kind of like different animals or things, busts designed on them. So every building you go to, just look up and you might see something that you didn't expect.
So we're down by the riverfront.
It's raining, by the way.
Here in Riga, it's raining again, but it's only spitting, so we're still battling on.
Yeah.
But the river in Riga is called the Daugava River, and it runs from here into the Baltic Sea, through Belarus, and also into Russia as well. But the reason we've come down to the riverfront is there's a few pretty cool buildings. There's the library. There's the TV tower, which we can only half see today. There's the big Latvia flag.
You can see this building here. It's got a funny shape, like the wave. We thought it was a hotel. It turns out it's the National Library of Riga. Pretty cool.
As I said, we're down by the riverfront, but behind me is actually the TV tower, and you can just about see it today. It is quite cloudy. Cool fact about the TV tower is it actually becomes Europe's largest TV tower for a few days each year. It overtakes the one in Berlin. Basically when the metal expands when it gets hot here in Riga in the summer. So for about 3-4 days a year on average, it actually grows taller than the one in Berlin. But I think today, with the rain and the cold, probably the Berlin one's taller today. So as we're just outside the castle, as I previously mentioned, there was like a candlelit service yesterday where people paid their respects to those who lost their lives in World War II. But I do believe a lot involved paying the respects to Ukraine as well, obviously the current war situation. So I think when you bought the candles, some of the funds were going towards Ukraine. But yeah, loads of candles, and obviously a nice place for people to come together and pay their respects. So these are the musicians of Breman, located in the old town of Riga. I think it's a German fairy tale where we've got a donkey, a dog, a cat and a rooster. And basically there are 4 overworked farm animals who quit and become musicians. And what you're meant to do is rub their nose for some good luck.